All right, y'all. So this is going to be one of those situations where we talk about how it started versus how it's going. Okay. Sky Squad, we are back in the building, baby. And we got to do a little bit of talking. We got to talk a little bit of bite. Okay. What happened on Sunday night and how that has led into what has happened today. If you are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and join the community. All right. So, y'all know the other day when the ladies were doing their live, which sad to say was actually more exciting than the episode itself. Um, One of the things that Dr. Heavenly said as she hopped on towards the end, okay, to get it popping and get it viral, okay, was that Sweet Tea needs to worry about that man you got because I heard he calling quad. Okay. I heard he's calling the quad. So we will touch on some other things that Dr. Heavenly said. Well, actually, let's do it right now. Because one of the things that I did was today, just to let you guys know, I'm a little bit late getting this video out because number one, I started off the morning watching the Diamond interview with Carlos King. Then I had some other work to do that took a couple of hours. So I finally was able to eat lunch and then catch up on the Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King recap of Married to Medicine. Now, this was very interesting because one of the things that Dr. Heavenly talks about is this notion that when it was asked if Dr. G had called Quad, Dr. Heavenly said, well, how people need to talk things and close things out. So by that, I take that to mean she didn't really want to confirm what she had previously said. And maybe that was a closed door conversation between her and Quad. But the interesting thing is that she did say, well, it's about one of those things where you need to close things out. Now, was that while he was with Miss Sweet Tea, Miss Sweet Thing, Miss Sweet Baby? Was that it? Or was it before? Let me know in the chat what you think. Because based off of this that you see on the screen, and then based off of the live recap of the episode, I mean, it sounded a little suspect to me. Interestingly enough, because Dr. Heavenly also reveals that apparently Dr. G, let me put the alleged badge up here real quick, okay? So allegedly, Dr. G had said to, I'm assuming Sweet Tea, and maybe Sweet Tea told this to Dr. Heavenly, that basically he couldn't be in the room at down to the BravoCon while the rest of the husbands are in the room supporting their wives on the panel. He couldn't be in the same room because Quad was going to be there along with Sweet Tea. Now, to me, listen, if that was said, it definitely sounds to me like it's some type of residual feelings there. Because otherwise, I really wouldn't care unless I'm not even trying to be there anyway. But if my wife is on the stage and I know I'm on the same show as my ex, I wouldn't even come on the same show with my ex if I didn't think that if I was over the situation, if it was a situation where I just couldn't stand to be around her, then I wouldn't even go on that show. I wouldn't even put my wife in that situation. If that were the case, if it were me. And that's just me, and everybody's different. Okay? We're going to get back to some things that Dr. Heavenly said in just 1 second. But since we were on the subject of Quad and Dr. G, I felt like I would connect the two, the live right here and the recap with Carlos. Now, like I said, we'll go back to the live with Carlos in just 1 minute because we got an update from Quad having popped in on the timeline. Okay. Now, Quad posted this, I think it was to her IG story as well. Okay. I believe it was to the IG story as well. I think that's where I saw it. I'll come back to that in a minute. But here's her statement. Basically, she says, traveling abroad, so I'm getting the news a little late. You know, Dr. Heavenly did say that Quad likes to be down to the Africa, okay? Now, I don't know if that's what she is, but, you know, that's anybody's guess. Anyway, listen, and I'm not mad at it either. I'm not mad at it because I know she flew first or business, okay? Anyway, she goes on to say, however, I would like to clear up a previous untrue statement made on the recent Married to Medicine Live. T, she addresses head on. Your husband and I have not, are not, and will not engage in any form of contact. I am firm in my stance of being not involved, of not being involved or used as a pawn in anyone else's dispute as a tactic to win a petty argument. Okay. Now she's referring back to the argumentation that Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly were having on the live, where Dr. Heavenly stated, you need to go check on your man because I heard he calling Quad. So Quad continues, it is crucial to clarify that there has been absolutely no communication between my ex-husband and me. The question would be, since when? Because if we go to Dr. Heavenly's live with Carlos, we hear a slightly different story. Anyway, she goes on to say any suggestion to the contrary is inappropriate and unfairly diminishes the seriousness of my past experiences with him, for good or for bad. Okay. So Quad is clapping back and saying, not so fast, not me, girl. Okay. Um, I think it was pivotal for Quad to make this statement because it does, just speaking from the PR perspective of it all, right? It paints a picture of her that looks as though she's accepting advances or calls from a married man, one whom she did divorce from. Okay. Now, just in case you thought that was it, Abadia, nope, that's not all, folks. There is more because Dr. Heavenly was not moved. Not at all. She jumps in the chat with the y'all believe that rolling eye emoji. Who do you believe? Okay. That is the question. And it would likely also need to be a question to come up down to the reunion for which I would expect to see Dr. G. How interesting it's going to be on that stage when Dr. Heavenly, Sweet Tea, Quad, and Dr. G are all sitting face to face in the same room. Now, one of the other reasons why I say that is going to be interesting is because when we go back to Dr. Heavenly's live that she did with Carlos King last night, lots going on last night, okay? She basically says she cannot wait to the reunion because she knows a lot. And Sweet Tea better watch it because she will unleash the Kraken, okay? Those are my words, not hers, but you get the gist, okay? So I'm trying to find out because it seems like based on what we see on the show, it seems like Sweet Tea initially at least was confiding in Dr. Heavenly quite a bit, right? particularly about some particulars in her marriage. So, with the two of them going at it so hard, do you think that those secrets will be exposed? Now, shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk for that first bit of tea. Now we're heading over to the Bravo Shade Room for the second bit of tea. So, as you guys may recall, we talked about how Sweet Tea has said that Dr. Heavenly's mama, can go to the HE double hockey sticks. And Dr. Heavenly promptly told her that her mother had been passed. Okay. So on the live yesterday, she basically clapped back. And one of those clapbacks, amongst many, was that her mama has a better chance of having a baby than Sweet Tea does, even though, or even if she is in HE double hockey sticks. Okay. Um, whew, it's going down in the Atlanta. Okay. It is going down off of the show. How is it that the off screen antics were better than last night's episode? And well, Sunday night's episode. Okay. That was just one of the things that Dr. Heavenly and Carlos talked about. They also talked a little bit about I did make mention of the blogger comment, and Carlos also had some words with regards to Dr. Simone saying what she said, which was pretty interesting, I would say as well. Um, and you know, I had some similar thoughts yesterday. I won't go back into them. You can watch yesterday's video to get that tea. But the Dr. Jackie incident does come up, and Dr. Heavenly, you know, she feels like Dr. Jackie meant no harm, and that she essentially said something to the effect of something that she and her daughter say, which is Perfect Patty, you know, did something wrong, right? Now, she also goes on to say that we put Dr. Jackie on a pedestal. Now, I would go so far as to say that that was not necessarily us who put Dr. Jackie on a pedestal. I think it is that when you go back and you watch the show and you see that Dr. Jackie oftentimes seems to portray the moral compass of the group. And so when you take that stance, you put yourself on the pedestal along with the network, you know, with the commercials and the merch and all, you know, I mean, not the merch, but the skincare and all that kind of stuff like that. And it just kind of feels like, oh, well, based on the dynamics of the show, she is in this revered position. So I wouldn't say it was us that put her on the pedestal. I would say it was more so, it's been more so her. And then in light of what was happening with Quad, and Dr. Heavenly says, well, we all need forgiveness. The same amount of forgiveness also we could say could have been extended to Quad. That's a theory. So there was also a theory that that Carlos had positioned, that people were saying that people from who were supportive of Quad are the ones who put out that clip from Dr. Jackie on Dr. Heavenly's YouTube channel to show the level of hypocrisy that also exists within all of us, but Dr. Jackie as well, right? And so Dr. Heavenly says that, well, you know, we know with the Quad situation that there are a lot of bots. And it's been confirmed from Bravo PR allegedly that these bots have been responsible for, you know, the support I'm assuming of Quad. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know nothing about no bots. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. I don't know much about algebra, but I know that 1 + 1 = 2. And I don't know about I mean, listen, who am I? Okay. I used to work in IT, but I don't know more. So maybe the bots is in effect. I mean, I like big bots, and I cannot lie. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. She does say that the world needs forgiveness, but will the ladies ever forgive Quad? Good question. All right, so let's talk about this interview with Diamond Dale from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now, we do know that Diamond Dale will be making an appearance or two or more as maybe a main cast member, maybe a part time cast member. They got so many versions of casting types for Love and Hip Hop. I don't know the difference. I'm assuming it's an A cast and a B cast, and maybe the A cast is on the credits and the B cast is just in the show in the mix. I need to know if there's a difference in the pay too. Anyway, just to give you an overview of my feeling about this interview, if you're interested in Diamond Dale and Crime Mob, I think, and in her history as an artist, I think that you'll be in for a treat because it is a great look at her experiences with early days Scrap, early days Soldier Boy, Nicki Minaj, Eve, Trina, all of that. We do get some clarification from her about, feeling like there was competition in their relationship with her and Scrap. And she, just needed a way out of that situation. And she ends up hanging out with Soldier Boy. It's photographed and it goes viral. And, that's pretty much the exit for her on the relationship with Scrappy. And, she talks about as well knowing that Erica and Bambi were both allegedly at the house that she owned with Scrappy, or at least leased or owned. I'm not necessarily sure. While she was still living there, I don't think that they were together, but she does know that they were both floating around in the background. She does indicate that she was not the other woman in the relationship with Bambi and Scrappy towards the end of their relationship, but she did admit to inappropriately texting. And then she says, Erica basically ran up on her. Well, not really ran up on, I guess tried to confront her at Mama D's event, for which, unfortunately, Diamond Dale's dad did pass just very recently. And while she was filming, he was in the hospital and she had just come from the hospital. So, in the scene that's in the trailer where she claps back at Erica Dixon about, whether or not she and Erica were cross contaminating with, Scrappy because he had licked the cooter from front to back. Is you feeling that? Put one hand up. Can you repeat that? Trying to take my man. I don't need that. Okay. So don't play yourself. If you know where that's from, chime down below. Okay. So, um, you know, and basically she feels like Erica's coming for her, because she ain't got no motion on the show. She ain't got nothing to do, and she needed somebody to beef with. And she wishes that Erica had maybe told her beforehand they could have concocted something, she could have gave her a little energy or whatever like that. But she is basically, the picture that she is painting for herself is one of, I'm at peace. I'm living my life. I'm going through my own stuff. That was the reason why she said things didn't work out with Scrappy, because even as her father was passing, is transitioning, excuse me, that Scrappy was more interested in keeping things going between, in the mix of Erica Dixon and her and him and the press and all that stuff like that. So she indicates that it sounds like she's distancing herself from that situation, but she does love her some Mama D. I think that one of the biggest things to come out of that was this notion that Erica Dixon, she alleges that Erica Dixon um, basically has always been number two. That they wanted Diamond Dale at first to appear on Love and Hip Hop, but they couldn't, but Diamond Dale didn't want to do it because she was not really trying to have reality TV in the mix of everything she had going on, as she was being, basically labeled as the villain in the end of the relationship with her and Scrappy. And so being the number 2 girl that she claims Erica Dixon, they went with her as the second best choice. Another thing is that she alleges that, there was a vacation to the Bahamas that Scrappy joined Erica and her friends that was already pre-scheduled because, I guess it was maybe something where he couldn't be with her. She also goes on to say that Erica is so used to being number 2, and that is why she cannot show pictures of her second baby father, because the baby father is allegedly still with the main woman, and Erica Dixon can't even show pictures of the man on social media because she is girlfriend number 2. Okay. So lots of interesting allegations that are going there. It'll be interesting to see how this all pans out. I know that there's been some tea that's been like some leaked information and text messages that have kind of come out or whatever, I guess for her to try to prove that Scrappy has been trying to still get with her as he's, laid up with Erica on, this vacay or that vacay. I really don't even know. I just don't know if, I guess if y'all feel like he's the prize, go ahead and fight it out. But I don't know about it. Babes. So that's the tea that's going on for today. I decided to consolidate these two things because it was a lot of content to A, watch and make notes on. But B, I just wanted to make sure I can give you guys my thoughts on the whole thing. I guess my thoughts on, Diamond coming back into the fold on Love and Hip Hop. I guess she wants to kind of clear her name. And my thought is, if it's paying you, fine. But it sounds to me, the way she makes her life seem is as though she, already has the finances and the pieces in place. I cannot fathom for the life of me why one would ever go back to something that you turned down over a decade ago. Like, it just is beyond me unless, is the check that good, right? Because she talks a lot about not wanting to disturb her peace, but based on what we know, that's what that show is all about. Okay. So anyway, that's the tea on that. I did watch Basketball Wives. I did make some notes. We may talk about that tomorrow. I have a couple of writing assignments I need to finish. So I need to get back to my other work. Okay. So with that being said, make sure you guys, like I said before, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button. Be sure to pick up The Wickedest Wives on Amazon.com or Audible and leave a review if you feel so inclined. We would love it. Book number 2 will be out shortly. With that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. Someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me. I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her all her dirty little secrets, just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?